Yep, we're recording. Okay, so we've just had the Last Supper, and it's now a nostalgic moment when we
Almost 10 o'clock
savor, almost 10 o'clock. We've just had a reasonable meal with lots of pasta, and we're now going to just move around. And so Phil, you first on screen. What would you rate the best climb of the trip for you?
I think, well, it'd have to be Col de la Bonnette, just stunningly memorable. It was a beautiful open countryside. I love the stark green Alps with the snow-capped peaks, and it was obviously made completely memorable by an hour-long hailstorm when we sheltered in an abandoned village. We still have to find out what the village was there for. Possibly, a mining town. Who knows? Anyway, then the last stretch at the Bonnette, where you ride on top of a ridge with precipitous drops either side, just totally memorable, and a really steep last 600 metres, just to make you realise you're going up a very tough climb.
And just before you close, what about a descent? What was your favourite descent?
Oh, well, I think the
same one.
The Saint-Martin, the Bonnette descent was fantastic, but for just that feeling that you were having fun in Europe, you couldn't beat the descent of the Col de Saint-Martin. Very open, great views, good smooth road.
Yeah.
You could crank into the corners and you could see the exits. So it was, you could have good, safe fun.
Okay, so we'll now move on to Mrs. Skippy, Mrs. Roo.
It's quite difficult, isn't it?
So Linda, before thinking about the best climb, I mean, just your experience of cycling in the Alps in France compared to previous trips, say, to Italy?
Well, cycling in the Alps did not disappoint. It was sensational. I was probably impressed more than anything else. The road surface quality is definitely better in Italy overall, from my memory. However, the scenery, the food and the people were just as good in the Alps, absolutely.
And obviously the coffee was better.
The coffee is better in Italy. Yeah, we don't talk about the coffee in France. It doesn't even rate.
And now,
desserts were fantastic though. The tarts. Highlight with desserts was the Col de Madeleine, having our tarte de tartine, which we went back for the second time.
We went back.
Scaling the other side of Madeleine on the day of the tour.
That's how good it was.
That was great, and I guess the most memorable climb for me, apart from the huddle up at top of Bonnet, was Izoard and Galibier, and the Madeleine actually too,
Yeah.
and the Colombian.
Yeah,
How do you choose? I can't choose.
you can't choose. Well, you were mixing it with all of them, so it's good to be able to rattle off four of them and say they were all good. That's it. And
sensational trip and holiday, great people. I had a wonderful time.
and descending, would you say at the end?
I think that the descent today after my two left beers was the best.
One beer okay, two you.
Two left beers, and
You start taking.
I'm relaxed and I'm ready to take those quarters.
You sure do.
At a better angle.
Okay. All right. We're now switching around to the bus driver, JG. That's good. I got you. So JG, firstly, like cycling in France, say, compared to the trips to Italy.
Yeah, look, it was a totally new experience for me. I think starting in Nice and doing the tourist thing, going down to Monte Carlo, totally different experience. Great scenery, but after we left Nice and started to get into the Alps proper, I must say the experience was every bit as good as I've had in Italy, and in a lot of respects probably a lot better. There were some great climbs like the Geneva, which I thoroughly enjoyed, but the Madeline, doing it both sides, was also just a great experience, particularly on the day of the tour as well. To me, that was an absolute highlight, and I can't believe how well organised the Tour de France is, and it just made me realise what a big enterprise it is. It was just a truly wonderful experience, and very, very well organised, and all the props, all the goodies that came through, and it's just a good experience, a great day, and we had a great view of the riders coming through down the valley, and weaving their way through to near the summit where we were positioned.
We're waiting for them.
Yeah.
Okay, JG, thanks for that. Now we're going to flick around now to the Stan the Man, the Happy Buddha. Come on, show us that Happy Buddha. There.
That's a Happy Buddha.
Happy Buddha. Okay, Stan, so you're on camera now. Just your impressions of this trip compared to what you may have expected beforehand?
First and foremost, I like to say thank you to everyone for being a part of Team Eric. Now, I haven't dreamt of coming to France to ride on the Alps, but my dream has achieved with a good company and good food, which is Phil Conwell. I choose every night a good bottle of red that we could not refuse. After one bottle, we go for the next. and my impression of the Alps is just amazing. You can't knock back the Alps. The village is so beautiful, pristine, with a snow cap, like Phil commented, the snow cap to top it up. Wonderful trip, and we'll do it again. Team Eric.
Yeah, Team Eric. Okay, I'm going to cut it there because I wanted
No, you don't cut it.
I wanted to say something myself, but I'm not quite...
I'm going to turn it around. You can say it.
Okay.
Okay, now we're turning around, and we're going to have... Okay, now, Ken?
Yeah, so...
Overall trip?
Look, my impressions are, way beyond anything I could have dreamt of. And although I've done trips like this 5 times before, I think it's 5 times, this stood out because, with injuries and problems, I wasn't even sure that I'd be able to get onto the bike. So just being able to do that was a big plus. And then cycling with my mates, getting the support, which was not asked for, and it wasn't gratuitous, and it definitely got me through the first few days, building confidence up, and actually finding a bit of form, because not only have I had this heart flutter, but I've been off the bike for 6 weeks. So that was a highlight. This trip is a standout compared to previous trips because of those expectations. I think the company was fantastic. Many of us have done it before, but there were a few newcomers, and it was just great how everybody just synced in. Stan made a point early on today that, if we had a 7 o'clock meet for 7 o'clock, if we're heading out at 7:30, everybody was ready at 7:30. And to get together for 2 weeks and keep the harmony going is quite an achievement. As far as the best climbs, the Bonnet was very satisfying just because it was so challenging. So we first started finding my legs a little bit a few days later, Col de Var, and maybe the Rosalind, and just because of the beauty. As far as descents go, I think it was the Bonnet, because if you want to dry your soaked cycling shoes really quickly, you descend the Bonnet when the sun comes out. So by the time we got to the bottom, the shoes were dry, and that was quite an epic descent. It was Robbo, Phil, and me. Unfortunately, the camera wasn't available, but it was a memorable descent. That's most probably the best ascent that I can recall. But we've had 2 weeks together. It's I think it's surpassed, well, obviously my expectations, but hopefully all. And it's now time for planning the next one. And over and out from chilly Geneva.
Woohoo! Team Eric!